The Marshall women's basketball team returned to the hardwood here tonight in Huntington to take on the Kentucky Christian Knights in their regular season opener. This game was the first in the career of Boyd County alum Savannah Wheeler, a freshman who for the first time is playing alongside a fellow 16th region graduate in East Carter's Kristen Mayo. The two once fierce competitors in high school have united here in Marshall, and they put on a show in the first game of the season for the Thundering Herd. A lot of excitement for the regular season Marshall debut at a 6 p.m. tip-off. Early on, it was Taylor Pearson showing out for the Herd. Here she goes coast to coast for a bucket just under 4 minutes into the game. Pearson scored the first 8 points for Marshall in the contest. Wheeler would check in for the Herd at the 6:01 mark and promptly found Mayo for a triple on the first possession. After the game, both talked about the debut of the former Lady Lion.
Our chemistry is really good as a team, all together. She can ball, Everybody knows she can play basketball pretty well. Everybody here can. I think she ain't really worried about stats, and I think that's always a good quality to have when you get to Division I, coming in from high school, because sometimes the stats don't line up like you're used to, so they did tonight for her, though. She was knocking down shots, making good reads.
First game of the season, we had a good crowd. Had my family with me, just being able to play in front of them, being local. It's just a good feeling to just represent where you're from and then just coming out with the win.
Several possessions later, Wheeler scored her first field goal on a run-out assisted by Pearson. She wouldn't be done there, though. With right at 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter, Wheeler knocked down her first career triple from the right corner, assisted by who else but Mayo. Herd up 21-0 at this point. Kentucky Christian, though, had a little 16th region flavor of their own. With 2.5 minutes before halftime, Lewis County alum Savannah Anderson cleans up a miss and gets a bucket to make the score 36-13 Marshall. Early in the second half, Anderson showed off some range off the screen. She would finish with 11 points and 9 rebounds. In the end, though, the Herd defense was just too tough. Here, Wheeler gets the steal and goes the other way for a hard finish through the foul. Wheeler finished with 4 steals, and Mayo posted 5. Staying in the third quarter, Wheeler feeling it from downtown again as KCU leaves her with just too much space. She would finish with 18 points in her first career game. Then around halfway through the fourth quarter, it's Mayo again, this time for good measure as she drives down the baseline and lays it in. She would finish with a game-high 19 points. It was an incredible showing and a great debut for Savannah Wheeler in her first ever game here at Marshall. Kristen Mayo also putting a show on in her first game in her junior season. Those two really look like they're going to be a dynamic duo for this Marshall women's basketball team. From the Cam Henderson Center here in Huntington, I'm Ben Spicer, MyTown TV Sports.